In this city, the rain doesn't wash away the sins, it just dilutes them until they're easier to swallow. My name is Elias Thorne, but the papers call me the Ghost. I go into places I don't belong and take things that don't belong to me. My latest job was simple, at least on paper. Big Sal, a name that carries weight in the criminal underworld, wanted the senator's ledger. It was a digital treasure trove of bribes, blood money, and the kind of secrets that keep a powerful man in office or get him fitted for a pine box. I found myself in the senator's dark office, the only light coming from the green glow of a computer terminal. My hands, sheathed in thin leather gloves, held a small silver drive. The prize. Just as the data transfer completed, a figure appeared in the doorway, a silhouette against the harsh hallway light. It was Juliana. Her hair was damp from the storm, a heavy coat draped over her arm. Juliana was the senator's so-called assistant, and she was my inside woman. She had provided the security codes, the blueprints, the window of opportunity. The plan was clean. We take the drive, collect $1 million payout from Sal, and then vanish. We disappear to some forgotten beach where the sun actually shines, and the rain doesn't taste like regret. But as she stood there, a strange feeling began to crawl up my spine. Something was off. We were making our escape, clattering down a slick rain-soaked fire escape, when the night erupted in a chorus of sirens. Below us, the alley began to pulse with a rhythmic flash of red and blue police lights. Juliana's voice was tight with panic. "Elias, the sirens, how did they know?" I just grunted back, "Just keep moving, Jules." The car is in the alley, but my mind was racing faster than my feet. My gut was screaming. I had personally bypassed the silent alarms. I'd physically cut the hard lines. There was absolutely no way the cops could have known we were in that building before we even touched the safe. It was an impossible response time, unless the call came from inside the heist. We finally hit the bottom of the fire escape and dashed toward our getaway car, a beat-up sedan that blended in with the city's decay. As I reached for the door handle, I felt a sudden, sharp pressure against my ribs. I looked down and saw the unmistakable silhouette of a suppressed pistol. My gaze followed the arm holding it, up to the person I thought was my partner. Juliana wasn't looking at the car anymore, she was looking straight through me. Her voice, when it came, was as cold and unforgiving as the rain hitting the pavement. "Give me the drive, Elias. I don't want to make a mess on your nice coat." There was no panic in her tone, no fear. Just the flat, detached professionalism of someone closing out a contract. That's when the whole sordid picture snapped into focus. She wasn't just a double-crosser, this was something else entirely. With her free hand, Juliana reached into her pocket and pulled out a badge. It wasn't a cheap fake, it was the real deal. Internal affairs. "Big Sal didn't hire you, Elias," she said, the words hitting me harder than any punch. "I did, through 3 different frontmen. I needed someone with your reputation, a ghost, to steal this ledger. It creates plausible deniability. The senator can claim the evidence was tainted in court, a product of a crime." Her eyes narrowed. "You're not a partner, you're the fall guy." The perfect alibi, she had me. Dead to rights, cornered in an alley with the police closing in and a gun to my ribs. It was a beautiful trap, I had to admit. But she'd made one critical mistake. I let a slow, jagged grin spread across my face. I held up the silver drive between 2 gloved fingers, letting it glint in the strobing light. "You're good, Jules. Very good. But you forgot one thing about our ghosts." I paused, letting the words hang in the damp air. "We never really exist in the places you think we are." With a subtle movement of my thumb, I pressed a tiny button on the side of the drive. Click. A small red LED blinked twice, then went dark. Her brow furrowed in confusion. "What was that?" I let out a low chuckle. "This isn't the ledger. It's a high-frequency jammer. Strong enough to disrupt any nearby signals, say, from an undercover officer's wire." Her eyes went wide. "While you were busy playing undercover boss in the elevator, I was already one step ahead. The real files. I uploaded them 10 minutes ago to secure servers at the city's 3 biggest news desks. They're set to go public on a timer. By the time you get me cuffed and processed, the senator's career and your clean IA record will be at the bottom of the bay, right alongside this whole corrupt investigation." Just then, 2 police cruisers roared into the alley, their headlights pinning Juliana in a blinding white glare. She stood frozen, the gun still in her hand, the useless badge in the other. Her perfectly crafted plan had evaporated in an instant. I slowly raised my hands, a picture of calm surrender. She had the badge, she had the gun, but I had the truth. And in a city built on shadows and lies, the truth is the only thing that actually cuts. They say the house always wins, but they never mention what happens when the ghost haunts the house. I'm Mr. Storytime. Watch your back, the next story might be yours. Thanks for listening.